Hi everybody, good evening. My name is Angela Obi. The title of my speech this evening is Does Affirmative Action Work? Now the question I want to pose to you this evening is what comes to your mind when you hear affirmative action? Do you roll your eyes and say it's giving job and education slots to people that are underqualified just because of the color of their skin? Or do you nod and say, yeah, it should be encouraged because it brings more diversity to the workplaces and schools? Or do you say, what does that even mean? Well, whichever opinion you have or do not on affirmative action, I'm here this evening to enlighten you more on affirmative action. I'm here to give you reasons why you should have an open mind on affirmative action. So this evening we'll be discussing about affirmative action, what it is, its impact on the minorities, who supports it, and why you should also support it. So what is affirmative action? Well, affirmative are those policies that organizations and institutions actively engage in in efforts to improve opportunities for historically excluded groups in American society. Affirmative action policies often focus on employment and education and institutions of higher education. Affirmative action refers to admission policies that provide equal access to education for those groups that have been historically excluded and underrepresented, such as women and minorities. So how did affirmative action start? So in 1961, President Kennedy, who was the first president to use the term affirmative action, in an executive order, directed government contractors to take affirmative action to ensure that applicants are employed and that employees are treated during employment without regard to their race, creed, color, or national origin. President Lyndon Johnson, an advocate of affirmative action, also signed an executive order in 1965 that required government contractors to use affirmative action in their hiring policies to increase diversity. Now that you know what affirmative action means, let's go and talk about its impact on the minorities. The updated report from the National Center of Education and Statistics, NCES, finds that in 2011, 69% of white high school graduates immediately enrolled in college, compared to 65% of African American graduates and 63% of Hispanic graduates. Now, this is against what was obtainable in 2007, where you had 70% white graduates enrolled immediately into colleges, as opposed to 65% of African Americans and 61% of Hispanics. So the affirmative action really works. Affirmative action programs have resulted in doubling or tripling the number of minority applications to colleges and universities, and have made colleges and universities more representative of their surrounding communities. Statistics show that California abolished its affirmative action program in 1998, and minority students' admission at UC Berkeley fell to 61%. Minority admission at UCLA fell to 36%. And after Texas abolished its affirmative program in 1996, Rice University freshman class had 46% fewer African Americans and 22% fewer Hispanic students. So affirmative action has done a great job in increasing diversity in schools and workplaces, so let's uphold it. Graduates who benefited from affirmative action programs say they have received better jobs and earned more money, and ultimately live better lives and live better because of the opportunities of affirmative action. Now, who supports affirmative action? The majority of Americans support affirmative action because the 2007 report by Pew Research Center says that 58% of Americans supported affirmative action in 1997, and 70% of them supported affirmative action in 2007. Secondly, American top universities support affirmative action. Harvard, Brown, University of Chicago, Dartmouth, University of Pennsylvania, all of them, they all support affirmative action. The United States military also support affirmative action. Now, all the top 500 Fortune companies in America all support affirmative action. I believe I have informed you on what affirmative action is and how it has impacted on the minorities. I have with data giving you data to show you that the affirmative action is the way forward. So let's uphold affirmative action because it helps the minorities and it increases diversity in the workplaces and schools. Thank you.